Trump has often sort of hinted, suggested strongly that, he could pull out of NATO. And then more importantly, during his term, he did pull out of the Paris Climate Accords. He did pull out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the TPP. He did pull out of the Iran nuclear deal against the wishes of every other UN Security Council member. And when you add all of that up, then America First begins to sound a little bit like America Alone. And then Trump is at the vanguard of a movement that genuinely seems to believe that America should stay out of world affairs. I mean, isn't it fair to interpret a lot of that as isolationism?
I don't think so. And there was a lot there, so let me take it in pieces. So first, several of those agreements you mentioned, I think that conservatives in the United States, Republicans in the United States, thought that they were bad deals and didn't advance American interest. Remember, there was bipartisan opposition to the Iran nuclear deal. Every Republican in Congress and some Democrats opposed it. Every single Republican candidate in 2016 was opposed to the deal and said they were going to rip it up. Trump was the relative moderate of that group who said he wanted to try to renegotiate it, and he did try to renegotiate it for the first year. But Marco Rubio and others said they were going to rip it up on day one. Paris Climate Accord, same thing. I think Republicans thought it was a bad deal. I think a Jeb Bush or another Republican president would have also withdrawn from the deal. And then if you look at alliances, I think often people think of alliances only in terms of the European alliances. But if you look in the Middle East, the Trump administration brought about the Abraham Accords, strengthening America's partnerships in the region, expanded on the Quad initiative that had started before. So I think strengthening partnerships and alliances in the Indo-Pacific. And then even if you look at Europe, the rhetoric was often tough against the European allies. But the actual actions, the Trump administration increased spending for NATO, brought in 2 new members to the alliance during the Trump administration, killed a bunch of Russian mercenaries on the ground in Syria, provided lethal aid to the Ukrainians for the first time. The Obama administration, remember, would only provide non-lethal aid, strengthened the U.S. presence in Poland. So I think that if you actually look at the outcome of the policy, the Trump administration did strengthen U.S. alliances in key regions.